So I did a neutral asset, and we have to ask what exactly is happening with a trading bot. And if you check over here, it absolutely didn't do anything. So we might have done something wrong. I do have like candlesticks over here sharing. It doesn't really explain why it's not working, but usually because these trading bots are made for longs, you can see none of them were made for short. So this is an important factor here. The recommended strategies for neutral were basically removed, and none of the positions would work except for XRP. So what if we just create our own bot? This is something you can do. So I could just stop this bot, right? The system will revoke all your pending orders. This is because, for a simple reason, a lot of these trading bots cannot like buy in sidelines, because if the price is moving a lot, that's when the trading bot works. But if the price is not moving at all, this is a big problem, right? So definitely consider that. So we're gonna be picking either longing or shorting XRP. This is something you should consider. So you could also use a recommended strategy right now, which I do think could work if XRP goes up. Potentially, I think it could go to 2.58. So I'm going to long this. But the issue is you have to invest an 88% margin. And again, this is something that a lot of guys haven't been talking about, how some of these XRP bots, they could get more expensive side because you're doing a lot of orders. But I am definitely really excited on what happens next here. So let us just check right now where we are with crypto XRP bot, which basically did nothing. So if you don't know, what they do is they basically make a buy order for you. That's correct. So a very big factor that you guys want to know is there has been a huge problem with the bots during the bear market. So they will just go up and down during these markets, but if not, they're gonna just drop all the way back. So this is where they went up, as you can see over here. So look at this. Right here, it's literally between 296 and 220. So this is the important factor that a lot of people aren't considering, is that if you want to make your own bot, this is something we will learn. Go to neutral over here. Neutral is probably going to be buying during these prices. So the lowest price, I think, is 1.87 personally, I think, for the XRP bot. And the highest price that, we could buy is 2.58. And then we could buy different type of grids. You can buy, the more grids you buy, the more risky it is. But the more grids you have, the more expensive it's going to be. So profit per grid is 5.79 to 7.56. So as you can see over here, the minimum to invest in this grid bot is actually about, what, $29. So that's something I will open. So you can see here, I'll be liquidated if the price of long is 0.57 and liquidated short is 3.36. And profit per grid should be 5%. So yeah, based on my theory, because I do think it's not going to go below 1.88, but I do think it's going to stop at about 2.6. This is a pretty fair price point. So we could try with about $40 here. I know $40 is a lot, but the reason why it's more important is the more money you give it, so basically it's going to be a bit more leverage, the more it's going to have like a chance to succeed. And you also have advanced settings here, trigger price and maximum price and minimum price. So for example, if it makes like $10, you got to close it, right? So let us just open this trading bot right now. I'd rather give it a bit smaller amount than a bigger one just to test it out. And creating a neutral strategy. Grid mode should be arithmetic. So the difference between arithmetic, we could actually ask ChatGPT and geometric. So the best thing is, like, you could have a futures grid and just open this one and ask here, what's arithmetic or geometric trading bot XRP, and is my trading bot right? So sometimes you gotta ask them correctly on where you should go from here, because otherwise you could get completely wiped. So be very careful about that, guys, because if you mess up the trading bot, it can lose you the entire position. It's absolutely no joke. So this is something to consider. Okay, I could talk through the bot settings and revisit potential factors like risk. So one important factor. So there are just two ways to space the grid lines between your lowest and highest price. Equals price distance between each level. Example, range 1 to 3 with 5 grids is $1, $1.5, $2, 2.53. Good when you care about absolute moves. So for example, if it hits a certain price point. Geometric is equal percentage distance between each level. So this could be like, you know, a bit different in that sense. Lower levels are closer together, upper levels are spread out more. Better when you think in percent moves, so 5, 7, 10%. For crypto, which moves in terms, geometric usually makes more sense over a wide range. Arithmetic is fine for a tight, smaller range. So is your bot right? Margin invested, total notion is 160 with leverage. You're telling the bot, I think the XRP will mostly trade between 1.87 and 2.58, and this is the price ranges we have made. 1.87, and as I told you guys, 2.58 was the big XRP sale. Actually, yeah, around this ranges, could be even a bit lower, 2.6, something like that, right? 2.6 is gonna be perfect. It will long near the bottom, short near the top, and try to farm volatility. Your liquidation prices are outside the grid. And so XRP has to make a huge move to liquidate at one side. But in crypto, it can happen over months or during big news. But here's a quick checklist. You understand it works only if XRP price ranges are in 187 to 2.58, which are my support levels for XRP. You know whether you want equal prices or equal steps. If you're expecting a breakup up or down, a neutral grid is a wrong tool. So that's when you do a short. So should I take it with arithmetic? And then, you know, these are the two differences. Arithmetic is like a spread. And then we also have basically asking it over here, equal distance, multiplicative. So these are awesome. And if you guys didn't know, you could also use the link in the description below for a free bonus. So the range is tight. You expect a small chop around the middle. You don't care about differences, just simple every 0.2% USDT. If your idea is it will just wiggle around 2.2, I was simple, evenly spaced. Arithmetic fits best. So I'm guessing arithmetic is best overall, right? If it's not too wide of a range, but does it really matter? The real risk is leverage future grid itself, range plus liquidation, not whether you pick arithmetic or geometric. Tell me the difference if I pick $50 with arithmetic or geometric. And then we're going to do a price analysis, because I already told you guys the price analysis for XRP right now is that I don't think we're going below 187. And if I do, I really apologize, because this is the last chance for XRP to basically go to these prices. It's been good to us. It's been nice. It's been doing fine. So I'll use a range from 187. And we can wait for it to actually finish up here. All right, so the $50 doesn't change, only where and how often it gets used. So equal price gaps between levels. Bots will place orders at those fixed around 0.80% USDT apart. Your $50 spread is actually, in price terms, it treats for moves as same as 220 to 240. So the other one is equal gaps in terms of percentages. So it's basically the same. It's smoother, very simple ladder, good for tight ranges. Geometric is slightly more aggressive, buying, selling around the lower part of the range. Better if you think on percentages. So the difference is not huge, but it's more about style. One is safe and the other is dangerous. The dangerous part is still leveraged futures grid itself, not spacing formula which you choose. So it's not that important which one you choose, right? And we can try with $30 over here, create this strategy. The reason, usually we want stop loss. You want to do a stop loss when it's going to lose like $15. So if it goes to 185, if XRP goes to 1.5, we're gonna full send it, right? It's gonna be terrible, absolutely terrible. So we might just as well close it, not to lose our full bot, right? But I don't think we'll get liquidated anyway, because if XRP goes to 50 cents, forget about this bot. But then there's also like, it would be nice to just go around these ranges. But if XRP goes to $3 or $1.5, if it hits like 3.1, it's completely over. Like, that's where I think like stop losses are very important. So now we have our own bot that's going to be trading between these levels. And I'll come back tomorrow to check what it does. So smash that like button, guys. So yeah, that's the whole point. Let us talk about Toobit as well. So if you guys want to join Toobit, this is also the option here. Wait, give me a second. LAN streams. Toobit LAN Central. So yeah, there is a free bonus as well if you guys are interested over here. That's just a quick update. So let's talk about today how you can actually trade XRP on perpetuals. So simply sign up with Toobit using the link in the description below. If you get over 1 million in perpetuals, you do get a bonus. And this is the important factor. 1 million trading volume gives you 90 XRP. So this is the real important factor, guys. Go to futures over here, USDT and perpetuals. Scroll down to XRP USDT after you sign in. But there's even a simpler way. So what you can do is light perpetuals. These are even easier for XRP and buying USDT. So if you want to do like perpetuals in general on how to buy and sell or long, if you think XRP is going to go up, well, we're going to teach you everything today. So this is the screen you're going to be shown. It should be without these examples and without, you know, the cloud. So don't be too worried if it shows you like that, because personally, I don't, you know, it's not that terrible as you think. And you could see here open orders, order history. You can actually close a few here. You can close the open orders. You can order stop loss positions. You can see here coin info. There's going to be a lot of things, right? But what Toobit did, and what I like that it did, is you have light perpetuals, basically minimalist trading method, ideal for beginners. And then you have open long and open short. Now, open long is going to mean that basically you predict XRP to go up, either in the near term, either in the long term. This is the most important factor. And shorts, when you want to open a short, and always you can do cross here, right? So all cross positions use the same margin, share the same asset, cross margin balance. Event of liquidation, your asset's full margin balance along with any remaining open positions under asset may be forfeited. As long as you aren't trading as too much, you shouldn't worry too much about this. So usually people do isolated, but again, this is the stuff for later if you're using it more. And right now we have open short. So if you think that XRP is going to go down, personally, I think it's going to go up. You can actually have a free voucher here upon logging in. So there's $2 over here. And you can go ahead and say, okay, I want to do, once you add the balance from your spot wallet or deposit, again, if you deposit $100, you get some money back. So just transfer here from spot account, either your USDT to USDT M futures. You can do like $20 and then you have your own balance showing up here. So what you do next is you choose leverage. Usually with smaller positions, I would always keep up to 25% leverage max. If you do 125%, yes, you have very big trades, but as soon as you get a small upswing, it's going to be a big problem. So let's just try this with 100 leverage. This is how you get liquidated because, you know, leverage is basically you borrowing money and it's not fun. And you got to take stop loss. The reason why people don't take stop loss is they wake up and they lose everything. You always want to take like a 10%, 5% stop loss. 5% is a bit safer. The leverage here is going to be, I really recommend it for it to be 15 or 10. Because like even if you have a small amount, this means like some exchanges offer 100% because it's much easier to lose this money. Like it just needs a small dip and you can lose everything, right? So you're just risking $2 here, but it would be like you had a $100 trade. And then after you set up a take profit and stop loss, you click open long. Now let's check open orders, and our position got filled. And now this is going to show you what exactly is happening here. Is you have a position profit and loss, open orders. As we can see, open orders available. So what happened with the 50x leverage is we borrowed $100 of USDT to bet on the crypto. But now, as you can see, obviously it went down just as a test, which is a big problem, right? We are going way down further, but we're waiting for an uptrend here. So my prediction is that XRP is slowly moving towards an uptrend. It has a bad market today on the weekend. You can see over here on the 1-minute chart. But over the long term, I really think there's going to be another small rally. Not a huge one, but I do think we're at least trying to push for 2.19. So I'm really excited for what that happens. So again, here you have, if you make enough trades, you can get up to 2,500 XRP. And then, as you can see over here, because I have a 100 USDT trade open, you can wait and see what's the entry price. Now, here we're in profit. It shows you if you're in profit, how much money you made, how much is the percentage. These are going to be the open orders, order history, what you did in the past, what type of trades. The reason why I really like it is because it is a very simple thing to follow. So here you see that I actually had to open, I had to pay 3 cents to open the position. And now because I'm 1% in profit, so it would automatically close after I'm 10% in profit, right? But now because I'm 1% in profit, you have two different options. Close, which would just close the order instantly, or you have a flash close. So flash close would just open another order, but exactly the opposite. So if I'm doing a long now, it would just open a short. This is actually very good for traders because if they are scalping, if they're trading minute by minute, this basically means that they can open it very fast and close it very fast and make profit from that. Or if they're seeing, okay, now we're going up in the next 5 minutes, they would literally open this in that scenario. So let me see if I get at least to 1%, and I'll show you how exactly it works here. Because I'm very big leverage, it's going up and down very fast. So let us close this. Let us close this. I like to close this by the market. Estimated profit of 1%. We go to order history, and you can actually see here, we are in a realized profit of 1%, but there was obviously a fee of USDT because this was just a test. But this gives you a pretty clear idea of what's going on right now in the crypto market. So this is a very weird candle. Sometimes you can even ask ChatGPT. So let's check over here. Bam. Let's see here what it thinks about this trade. All right. Is it going to be in profit or is it going to crash? On the chart, looks short-term bullish, but only on a smaller time frame. And you can immediately see as it said it went up. So we're going to do a 100x leverage for a smaller time frame, right? So look how it goes up exactly as it said this. So price above the cloud, above the red Kaijun line, close to the blue Tenkan line. So on the small, shorter time frame, it's actually long and bullish. So $2, that's how much we have. We're going to open it with a trial funds. We're going to try it again. And yeah, obviously, it's like I opened a $200 position. And look how I'm up now, like 1%, down 1%. This is the good factor about these trades when you're doing leverage. The issue is you can get liquidated very fast if you're not careful. So you got to be extremely careful and also click stop loss and take profit. This is what I like. So yeah, that's how you buy XRP. So let us close this position now. Actually, I'm going to keep it open. So in this video, I will show you how to buy XRP in 2025. Welcome back, everyone, to another video. So a very important factor is you sign up to Toobit. Link in the description below. You get a free bonus upon deposit. And you also get a free future trading bonus, which is basically free, and you get a trading volume. So for example, if you hit 3 million trading volume that month, you got 180 XRP for free. That's right. This is a competition we only have with Toobit, so you should subscribe there. This is going to be the first step. So sign up to Toobit. Link in the description below. Then you want to buy and trade XRP on the spot, right? And we are over here right now. So this is going to be another factor. So here you can see like deposit at least 200 USDT to future accounts and hold for at least 48 hours for an extra bonus. You can see I already opened a trade here. Now you don't want to do futures, right? You only want to do spots. So we have a lot of stuff here. One-stop global currency trading. You have light perpetuals. There's going to be a lot of stuff. And you're going to be basically worried with what's going to happen. You have trade and then you go to spot over here under trade. Spot, you go to down to XRP. Bam. And this is going to be the big factor. Now, what's the difference between futures and XRP is you don't really own the crypto in the futures. So in the futures, you predict the price, and in a spot, you actually own it in your wallet. So why do people do futures? Is because it's better for trading. For example, like it can give you much more return because you can borrow money. You can borrow the money from the exchange to buy some spot. So this is what they will show you. It's actually a very simplistic factor. We have the order book here of what people are selling for, what people are buying it for. And you can also just set it to sell orders. You have open orders, order history. Then we have trades. You can also see if like a whale bought XRP, some whale sold. Well, that wasn't really a whale, but someone sold 181 XRP. And I really like they are transparent, showing all the trades happening. So right now, I decided to buy $2 of XRP. So this is the USDT over here. When you deposit, there should be an amount. I want to buy $2 of XRP. And the amount should be $2. So I'm getting exactly about 1 XRP, right? And then we set a price. Now, you have limit, market, and trigger. So ignore these two, trigger and OSO. Yes, they are cool, but it's not really something you need as a whale. Now, limit is you say what you want to buy. Like you go to a farmer's market and you say, I want to pay $2 for this. But then they tell you, sir, this is like $5. So you go usually to the market and you just go to a grocery store and ended up buying it. And you buy the market price, which I feel like is fair when you buy smaller amounts. Unless you're buying millions of dollars, it's literally better at this point. Unless limit is you want to buy it exactly for $1.5. So you can set an order. So we will try both. Why not? Let's try both. So I want to buy XRP at $1.5. And once it's $1.5, you set one size over here, buy XRP. So it will only allow me for $5. So $5. Actually $1.5, my bad. And I want to buy 3 XRP over here. I think that's enough. So $5. I want to buy $5 at 1.5. So let me see here. $5.10. See? And now I would get 3.4 XRP for $5. But if I want to really buy it really fast, you just click over here. I want to buy, I have $3, $2, I want to buy some XRP. You simply click buy XRP. You need to buy at least $5 amount. Bam. I just bought $5 of XRP at 2.19. It's that simple. And if you want to see if it was the order was filled, you just check over here. Market, quantity order, and that's it. And that's how you buy XRP in 2025, guys. So a very important factor. So smash that like button if you guys want more updates like that. I'll keep you guys updated with more news. Let's go to copy trading and see if there's any XRP copy traders. This is something I've been looking for some time, and I'm going to be following a copy trader, but I want him to do XRP content only. And of course, we can't go into someone that's already full, that has, traders there already. So the reason why I really like this is because you can check people who are trading XRP by itself. So for example, let's check this guy. And you can check what is he trading. Do you trust him with, like, he's trading some weird type of tokens, but he's definitely a copy trader. So here's a very important factor. You can actually become a copy trader yourself. So we're going to try both. This is like a person with profit and loss, like a small profit and loss over here. Has average earnings, average losses. And you can actually see what he's trading. He's not trading any XRP. So we got to find someone that does. So there's two options to go over here. You can also become a lead trader and people follow your trades, and then you can apply here. So this is one factor. You can become a trader over here. 1,000 USDT contract trading in nearly 30 days, calculate profit on contracts, and then you can click apply. See, it doesn't allow me. Total account assets is less than $100, so I need to deposit more. Cumulative gains and losses on contract amount for nearly 30 days is less than 20%. So please start a film bargain to accumulate data and make trader review a requirement. So I need to trade more, so I could just follow and copy someone. I'm not sure if it accounts for, the total volume, but it definitely accounts for volume overall. So what the guy I've been seeing here is Shadow. And he's actually made 500% gains. But he's just trading Ethereum, right? So he's holding like for 8 days, 7 days. You could check all his trades. And you can copy his trades to see what's going on. He transferred $100 over here. Has 786 followers. You can click copy. The minimum to start is $10. Amount of a single opening position is going to be $10. And that's it. Like, we're gonna fix this copy trading, and we're gonna see what happens with this here. And let's see if it works. And smash that like button. I'll keep you guys also in the description below, because we do have a bonus and promo going on if you want to sign up and start copy trading. So follow the leverage of lead trader. Total investment $10. Amount of single opening positions is also $10. You don't need to worry about this too much. You just need to put out how much you're gonna like follow this lead trader. It's a very niche thing. So now I'm copying him. It's that simple, really. And again, a lot of people are gonna at some point copy me, and they're gonna get returns because we made a little competition with Toobit to earn massive XRP rewards, up to 2,500 XRP. So what's that? $5,000 rewards. What's that? 2,000. So over $8,000 of rewards over here, made by Toobit and me for you guys if you use the link in the description below. So what's going to happen now is we're going to wait for him, because he only made $8 so far. This is why a lot of people basically, go on his path. Is he made last 180 days, he only made $300. But the thing is, when he makes such trades, he's making 500%. He's making 90 days. He's making some amount of money. He also has losses. But then in the long run, a lot of people start trusting him, right? He's draining Ethereum, USDT, TON, Atom, BTC. So he lost on BTC. But because he has a 75% win rate and a profit and loss of 27% over, time, trading from 355 days, a lot of people trust him. So it's cross-mode trading. I might take profit, but you got liquidated before that. So manage your margin whenever I open a position and take your profit yourself. So he's very honest to his traders. That's why a lot of people love to do copy trading. So very important factor here for you guys, if you haven't already, is that it's super risky. And I want to find a copy trader for XRP. And if there's not going to be anyone, I might start doing my journey myself, because I don't really see many XRP traders over here. Look, it's mostly Ethereum, Bitcoin. But, in Korea, there's a lot of these traders for copy trading. So that's something I will keep you guys updated with more news. But yeah, here's the free bonus basically that you can join in and go big and have fun with it. So let us check now what exactly is happening with XRP futures. So XRP perpetuals, light perpetuals, XRP USDT. It has been basically going up and down, and this is why I opened my trading bot. I'm actually down 6%, which is 12 cents, but this is a bonus at this point, so that's something also important to know. I'm really excited if XRP goes up. It would be nice, but it seems like I'm going to get liquidated here. No, not yet. I'm still down 9%. Obviously, XRP in the long run, I'm slightly bullish. I don't think it will reach all-time high of 3.66 anytime soon. But I do think it is possible for XRP to see bullish momentum, like, you know, up to $3, $4, $5. I don't think Christmas is going to be anything like Christmas is canceled, guys. So we can even ask here. We can go to one-day chart. And we can literally ask AI, the holy AI, we can ask what he thinks. Does he think that XRP is going up or down? So let's check over here, and don't worry if there's a lot of stuff on your screen because the ChatGPT will literally know what's going on. Do you think XRP will recover? So that's a very important question. Like XRP recovering to $3 would definitely be nice. So we're going to ask the question for basically if we're going to see anything of value here for XRP again. Would be pretty much amazing. So let us check here. So it can recover, but right now the 15-minute chart still looks weak, not recover. Price is under the blue downtrend and spending time below the Ichimoku cloud. Short-term trend is down, sideways, not bullish. Your previous take profit area around 2.4 is far above the current price, 2.19. It would need to break the downtrend line, get above the cloud, and hold roughly above $2.3. Will it get to $3.6 soon? So let's check that. Again, XRP at $3.6, it's great when Bitcoin goes up, but when Bitcoin is down, we are, you know, pretty back prices. Very unlikely for XRP to hit $3.6. So bull market, you know, bear market is still happening. 3.6 from 2.2 is a 60 to 70% move. That kind of move can happen in crypto. So 60 to 70%. So again, it would have to go back to 60% up. It's 60% down from its all-time high. It usually is a strong bull trend, big news, and market wide on risk. On the charts you show, XRP is still stuck in a range around 2 to 2.4, not in a clean breakout. It would need first to break and hold above 2.4 to 2.5, then attack the old local highs before even thinking about $3. So let me show you guys. It's saying it's got to get first to 2.5. And as you can see over here, I'm still bullish. I have opened a trade. So I'm going to open another trade, like the general I am, but this time with 25x leverage because I am using trial funds over here. So 25x only. So as you can see over here, let's open a 25x with taking profit and taking loss at 5%. And then we go, Ichimoku and trend lines right now are showing chop, neutral to slightly bearish. So something a lot of people don't know is, could XRP hit 3.6 one day? Yes, in a strong bull market, it's possible. But based on the current structure, it's not showing a high probability path to 3.6. So let me just set up the chart here for 2.4. Once we hit 2.4, this is the literal line, and it's trying to push out for 2.4. I need to make some more space here because it's absolutely terrible. Like these are the past price predictions that I've been telling you guys, and they're kind of following the correct trend line. But 2.4 is the next level we're chasing for. 2.4 over here. And once we get to 2.4, it's going to be a very exciting. But see, seemingly every time it's trying to push to 2.4, we're heading downwards. See? Like we're slowly hitting downwards in the past few months since 17th July. which it does confirm to me that it's a bit bearish. Like, you know, people in whales are trying to buy it, but it's just not happening. I plan to trades around current ranges, a clear breakouts, not around a fixed dream target like 3.6. What price ranges will XRP hit? So that's a very good question. So yeah, it would be nice if it hits 3.6 again. But again, it seems like it is stuck between these two price ranges of 1.87 and 2.4. So that's why it's stuck. It's literally stuck between these two. So it's something to know. So I am going to open still another small long. If you guys want, you can join me. But again, link description below. You have a race to top trader and winning 2,500 XRP. We're seeing the highest reward to achieve the trading volume below. I think this is actually for the top traders. I'm not even sure if maybe this is for all traders, not just one. But 2.0 to 2.4 as the core range with occasional moves between 1.8 and 1.9 downside or 2.5 to 2.8 upside. This is why I opened the trading bot here. So a strong break above hold above 2.4 or 2.5 opens to 2.8. So what it's saying basically is we are in clear ranges of just going sideways. We can't decide if we're going up. We can't decide if we're going down. It's just gonna kind of stay there and wait to see what Bitcoin happens, because Bitcoin's prices are absolutely crazy right now. And this is where it really does make a difference. So that's the important factor. Then we also have to check. So you get a pretty clear idea now. These are the key levels where price is likely to react. I'll trade around these zones with clear invalidation rather than betting on one spot target. And you can see I open the trade here and I'm waiting for it to fill. Once it fills, it's going to be much better in that sense. So right now we do have another video. If you own XRP, you need to hear this. And again, my positions have been down 2%, guys. I'm on Toobit right now, and we got to hear this, what's going on with XRP.
2021.
We are literally seeing these same patterns on XRP charts.
Off we go. Sorry, that was
the banana zone.
2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats, don't fuck this up, don't lose control of your tokens, don't use leverage, don't get your wallet hacked, just sit with it, be careful, don't get FOMO, do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of corrections.
So yeah, this could be even in 6 months, 8 months. It's not going to be very, very instant. But yeah, this is why I have a trade open on a long.
That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over. And everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over.
Right, so he's talking about this 35% drop, right? In case you guys didn't realize, from October to now, Bitcoin had a very similar 35% drop. In fact,
this is actually very normal in crypto. Like XRP dropping from 3.66 to 2 point whatever it is like a 60-70% drop. It's not like stocks. It's much more, you know, uptrend and much more downtrend.
I think it actually maybe went just a little bit above 35% down. So yeah, pretty substantial amount of a correction there. And yeah, the market sentiment was very bearish at that time. People were saying, okay, well, definitionally, this means that the bull market is over. There are a couple of criticisms that people do have about Raoul Pal here. Most notably, if you do compare 2021 versus 2025 here, these two bull runs, what you're clearly going to see is, well, during this period of time, the correction happened very quickly. The explosion was very fast. This period of time, this was 6 months ago, you know, it has been a very downwards correction. And yes, we did hit a new high.
And also 221 was when we had the most retail, right? So look at that. I'm actually above positive on a trade. If you guys want to get started on Toobit, link in the description below for a free bonus. But it seems like 2021 is going to be way different than retail of 2025. So 2021, we had absolutely nothing, but 2025 is when you know, we had some retail, but 2021 was all about all retail, no corporations.
On Bitcoin, but that would put us like right about here, not in the banana zone, all the way straight up to the moon. And since we hit our all-time high here in October, we got another drawdown again over here, which does look like the beginnings of a actual bear market, which a lot of bears have been saying. And so there are two ways to look at this. We did hit the all-time high following this correction, as Raul Pal said. It wasn't as high as many people thought. Many people thought we're going to 150K to 200K Bitcoin. Many people thought we're going to at least $5 per XRP.
Yeah, so this is not going to happen yet. This might take some time. We all expected it. And look, just as I was about to close the position at 8% loss, immediately now I'm at a 5% profit, 50 cents. And I'm using 25% sizes, which is absolutely incredible, you know. And I do think we're in upward momentum. It's just going to trade between these two ranges.
That didn't happen. But the long-term vision here for Raul Pal, I think, is very accurate. And I will be getting more into that right after I play this clip here from Cathie Wood, where she's talking about her mega bullish case as well very recently. And so I just want to make sure you guys understand really what this all looks like here. Listen to what Cathie Wood has to say here.
Yeah, so billionaires basically giving advice about XRP is amazing. I'm just going to close this profit. We're going to open another one. So I'm going to close this in a 4.5% profit. Absolutely amazing. Great news. So we are in profit, correct?
It is our view. I think right now we're in a risk-off period generally. And if you've been watching Bitcoin, it's almost been a leader in terms of risk on, risk off. So I think that's what we're seeing. If you look at our on-chain analytics, what you will see is that we are in the middle of, we're a little bit more than halfway through a 4-year cycle. We think we're still in a bull market. And we believe that the deregulation that we're seeing here in the United States is...
So you can actually see it's trying to push higher from 2.19 to 2.2. Like exactly as we're watching this video, like Cathie Wood is giving us advice.
Is going to be very important to institutions moving into this new asset class. Asset allocators have to have a point of view on this new asset class. And we think by putting it in portfolios, risk-adjusted returns for the entire portfolio will go up.
Right. So this is what Cathie Wood's saying. She thinks over the next 5 years, Bitcoin's...
So yeah, she's kind of like slightly bearish. This confirms to me we need to open here a small short. Take profit, take loss, stop loss of 5. And just as I was doing like this stuff, you know, it started to crash. So you can actually see over here, it's like a red candle.
Still going to go to 1.5 million, which I think is an insane price. I think even 1 million is crazy, but you know, that's her thought process. I still respect it. I still think, you know, that there is a possibility that does happen. It's not impossible. And she does.
I think it's almost like a 0% chance we see, you know, crazy numbers. That would be definitely insane, but like crazy numbers like that, I mean, just not worth it. It's just like, it's like, yeah, Bitcoin could go to 1.5 million, but will it? Probably not.
Let's mention the 4-year cycle here as well. And so this is one thing you will notice with a lot of the very strong bulls is that they do think long-term the potential is there. And so if Bitcoin is going to go to 1.5 million in 5 years and XRP can go to $100 or more in 5 years, why wouldn't you just continue to hold, right? And that's a very fair argument. If you can 100x your money or 10x your money in a very short period of time, it makes a lot of sense just to, you know, continue to hold and just wait it out. In fact, I think that that's completely rational. However, if you are able to find the dips accordingly and invest during the bear market,
that's what I'm doing right now. Like I opened this trade and it's 1%.
Then that's even better. Cathie Wood here.
And I jinxed myself. Obviously, it's a good thing I have a stop loss because like the bear red candle wasn't good enough. So we are going like in some sort of a bull market cycle.
You think that a bear market is defined by a 25% drop down from its peak and that you should honestly be looking at purchases at that level like crazy. And I'm sure Cathie would agree with the purchases. So I think there's maybe more that we agree on than I admitted previously. But anyways, I did a full crypto market assessment based off of not just what Cathie Wood and Raul Pal were saying, but also what Benjamin Cohen was saying. Because Benjamin Cohen is someone I've covered on my channel, and he's one of the more...
I kind of trust Benjamin Cohen, even though he's not super bullish on XRP.
bearish people, he talks about the moving averages and how we've fallen below those and how those are a very accurate bear market indicator, and they're about 70 to 80% accurate, generally speaking. And he also talks a lot about the 4-year cycles as well, which we saw Kathy Wood did mention. Generally speaking, you know, after a certain period of time after the Bitcoin halving, the markets top, and then the bull market ends, and then we get into a bear market, and we're past that threshold of time for Bitcoin, and we've seen Bitcoin decline 35% from its peak. And so this is why a lot of people think we're in bearish territory. Now, I want to make something very clear. I don't think the corrections that we're seeing for this time around in the crypto market are going to be anywhere near as severe as what we saw in 21 or 2017 during.
And also 2022, that was a pretty bad year, you know. And the thing is, 2022 is when like Terra Luna Classic failed. A lot of these big exchanges went down. This is not going to happen this time because there's more money involved and there's more safety precautions.
During those corrections.
See how it's trying to form a higher low?
From the bull market to the bear market. And so I do think that this is actually probably a much better scenario for people that are long-term holders, just because you'll have a good amount of time to purchase Bitcoin and other assets at, I think, a very reasonable price. And yes, it's possible we go lower, whatever, but it's also possible that we go higher because of all the institutional adoption too. And so this is what we really need to pay attention to. XRP, Bitcoin, everything can push a lot higher. We have trillions of dollars coming in. Quantitative easing, we know, is very likely to happen in 2026. Trump is going to be...
This is the quantitative easing is what we're really pushing out for altcoins, but just there's no retail. There's absolutely no retail, and a lot of people are calling it for a bear market.
Issuing the largest tax refunds in American history.
So because of that, I'm probably going to open a flash close here. I'm feeling bullish that this is going to go further up. But anyway, let's continue to the video.
I mean, tariff dividends are also happening. There's just so many different things that are going on that will give immense liquidity, trillions of dollars of liquidity to America and the rest of the globe, all happening in 2026, which leads me to think that this is going to be a very short bear market and then a very amazing bull market, following the end of the bear market. So lots of crazy stuff going, right?
So if you're calling for a bull, I'm definitely considering this because we're on the 1 minute chart here, but peak 126, I mean, 2026, nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen. This is the one thing I'm concerned about. A lot of people were saying Bitcoin to 100K in 2021. And look, we got completely destroyed. A lot of people are saying 300K Bitcoin. You don't know. This is the issue.
We can see previous historical examples from different cycles, 2017 to 2018. Death cross timing was early 2018. The subsequent drop was 85%. We also had a death cross timing right here, mid 2021. Pre-peak, the drop, of course, was 77%. And then in 2025, we had one, of course, on November 16th. And we're down 30% so far from peak. Right? So this is just something to keep in mind. The duration of the bear market in 2021, 2022 was the longest, about 18 months of bear market territory. It was about 12 months in 2017, 2018. And I don't think we're going to see a very long bear market. I want to be very...
I think that the bear market, like very long, people have to realize that we're talking about 8 months bear market, 1 year bear market, but not like a 3-year bear market. Just not going to happen anymore. There were so many bad scenarios past few years.
Clear, I'm leading towards 6 to 12 months. And yeah, basically it's ongoing right now according to Grok. Like, we are in a bear market right now. I agree. Definitionally, a bear market is a 25% drop from peak. We're down, more
than that's pretty normal for crypto though.
The 30%. So really important to keep in mind. Now, it is possible that we break above 95,000 and we keep pushing higher. I want to make sure that becomes very apparent to you guys. It's not black and white. It's not like, oh yeah, it's like guaranteed we're going to go down in price now. It's just more likely that we are than we won't. And that's an amazing thing. So stop crying in the comments about it, please, guys.
Yeah, so this is the important factor. Composite expert view, Cohen's cashation aligns with current bear signals. So yeah, Benjamin Cohen is a bit bearish right now because he did not expect this type of crash. And I personally believe him. He said, XRP is going to drop quite a bit, and I believe that.
Basically, Benjamin Cohen's analysis aligns with current bear signals, which is a higher weight in short-term assessment. Palin would remain a long-term bull.
So yeah, I'm just gonna open a short trade here because I really think it's gonna go positive.
Bullish, and I think this is a perfectly fine mentality to have, you know, remaining long-term bullish, holding long-term, accumulating on the dips, and just, you know, waiting it out for all this liquidity to come in 20.
Exactly, no one knows. They have been wrong for the past 5 years. Exactly. We don't know what's going to happen in 2026, but if anyone's saying here, oh, we're hitting a bear market, we're not hitting a bear market, don't believe them. It's just absolutely crazy because a lot of people think, okay, I'm going to make 300K next year with Bitcoin, and suddenly they get shocked when it drops down to 20K. This is the issue. Nobody knows, or they would be all opening short. So I feel like a lot of these billionaires, like, they can predict that we're going up, and then suddenly we're right. But it's not like they know that we're going up, and then people are suddenly angry. So yeah, they're just going off past data, basically.
2026. I mean, it's a blessing that we have all of these opportunities and these pretty much for sure things that will eventually come out. This is a PvP landscape, guys. I want to make that very clear. You're fighting against everyone else and their current mentality on bear versus bull. These panic sellers, when you diamond hand, when other people panic sell, that's where you actually make the money. When everyone is shaking out of the markets and the institutions see the opportunity to send this thing to the stratosphere, that's where the money is made, right? My average entry for XRP during the last bear market was between 30 to 50 cents on average. That's where I was making the most of my purchases, okay? During the
30 to 50 cents. Would anyone expect it to go to $3.5? I don't think so. So you can actually see that it's going very sideways right now. It's something I'll keep you guys updated. If you want, guys, also check out Toobit, link in the description below for a free bonus. But let's get on to the next video. The sleeping giant about to overtake ETH 2025 prediction. And here's where, you know, I don't agree with XRP versus Ethereum. I don't think it's a good analysis because what Ethereum is trying to be is its own thing, and what XRP is trying to be is its own thing, right? With institutions.
Talking about something that Benjamin Cohen recently shared here, I'm just going to play this real quick, and then I'm going to provide some really valuable insights based off of some new market news that we've just gotten. So please listen up here.
This is one of those things where it's actually kind of similar to, you guessed it, 2019. How is it similar to 2019? Well, I'm glad you asked, because if you look at Bitcoin.
So yeah, it does seem likely that XRP is following some of the cycles similar. But 2019, you know, like, is like 1980s compared to 2025. This is the problem I'm seeing right now. See, nobody can predict the market, and suddenly we're going up. I open a position on Toobit, so link in the description below. But here you can see the sleeping giant about to overtake Ethereum.
Bitcoin starts to show weakness, goes below its 50-week moving average against the S&P, potentially eventually gets a rally back up to it. That's probably a few weeks away, if we're being honest, maybe December, January timeframe. And then you could see it continuing to go lower. And one of the things that I've talked about as well is how, if you kind of look at that low right there for Bitcoin, if you assume that we're kind of in that top, if you look at that low.
So you can see I'm actually opening the trade here with 4.65 based on my own predictions here. Just wanted to let you guys know, just getting back to the video now.
Actually corresponds, Bitcoin is around $6,500, right? And we talked before about how Bitcoin was fighting to stay above 100K. Like over here, it was fighting to stay above 10K. You see that? And you can see that even after Bitcoin gave up 10K, it still occasionally rallied back up to it. So it's not impossible for Bitcoin to potentially rally back up to 100K at some point.
So we just closed it before the short. But yeah, trying to rally back up. Same with XRP. They're trying to beat Bitcoin, but it's going to be hard right now. Bitcoin is waiting for institutions to basically be, you know, buying again.
But you can see that even if you exclude the pandemic drop, Bitcoin eventually dropped down to around 6,500 or so. The reason why that's interesting is because 6,500, 65,000 is probably where that 200-week moving average is going to be by mid next year, if I had to guess. If you look at like a price label on this, like right now it's like 55, but by May, you're looking at around 67 or so. By October, it's going to be 77. And I got to believe that we will have a date with Destiny at some point, you know? I mean,
So could history repeat itself? What are current odds of rate cut in December? 75% for basics points. I mean, like, come on, we're not that bad in a bear market. It's just crypto. Crypto is really the one getting, sold out because there's not enough retail in crypto right now. This is the problem I'm seeing, guys. And again, I'm using Toobit to open my trades, but I'm just playing with the market. I'm not praying for XRP to go up. But I'm looking at the data that we have, and it's like, institutions are buying XRP.
See some,
but they are not going yet for, the big crypto changes. Again, when quantitative easing happens, XRP, Ethereum, those are the real ones to grow. But we still need retail. We need someone to buy these coins. That's the one thing I'm worried about.
Starting, we'll actually need to see more rate cuts following this. And you can see a December 2025 Federal Reserve rate cut would not mean the Fed is entering quantitative easing. To clarify, QE involves the Fed actively expanding its balance sheet by purchasing large quantities of securities like treasuries or mortgage-backed securities to inject liquidity into the financial system and lower long-term interest rates. A rate cut, by contrast, is a change in the federal funds rate, the short-term policy rate, which influences borrowing costs. So generally, you do see, QE and rate cuts kind of evolve in parallel. And that's why people draw those parallels. But there's absolutely no statements from the Fed saying that they're going to start QE to any degree. And so
this is the one thing I'm worried about. No QE, no start of a altcoin market.
I just need to point that out there for anyone who's saying QE is going to start in December. No, it's not.
I don't think so. If it would, they would already announce. So guys, also remember, race to become the top trader and win 2,500 XRP. You will receive the highest reward from the list if you achieve the trading volume below. You can get up to 2,500 XRP if you have 40 million trading volume. I'll keep you guys updated with that as well. So smash that like button. It does seem like we're going a slight uptrend. So I could open a long here, to be honest, and look for a new high.
Quantitative tightening is going to end December 1st. That much is guaranteed. We do know that. They've announced that. But we need to see, some more details on, Fed announcements before we know when QE is going to start.
So yeah, it's just they're just taking it so slow at this point.
Based off of the Fed's current announcements, mid-2026 or later is probably going to be the likely beginning of quantitative easing. Now, this ironically also perfectly coincides with Trump's tariff dividend announcement. Tariffs, he basically said every American is going to get, $2,000 in tariff dividends by mid-2026. This is also after Jerome Powell is going to be removed from the Federal Reserve as well. So let that sink in for a second, right? Trump's going to remove Jerome Powell in May of 2026. He's going to issue these stimmy checks in mid-2026, as he said on Truth Social. And then we're also likely to see quantitative easing or a modest expansion of the Fed's balance sheet start in mid-2026 as well, maybe a little bit later.
So yeah, mid-2026, remember this key date. We were always talking about November. I'm sorry, guys. I was saying about November since July, and now it's suddenly, it's not so good. But I will open a short here just because, or maybe not. Good thing I did it because XRP is going up, in fact. So this is the most important factor. Is 2,000, these ticks, they really take it slow. That's why XRP is buying companies now to basically set up for future plans later.
Okay, these are the bullish conditions that we have not had at any point during this bull run. Okay, and if these things all do happen together, there's no doubt in my mind it's going to be extremely bullish. And yes, I do understand that this is not what a lot of you guys wanted to hear. A lot of you guys wanted this to happen much sooner.
Yeah, so sometimes we did not expect crypto to just pump up suddenly, but then it does. And this is what can happen in crypto. A lot of whales make their money in bear markets. Nobody talks about that. How many whales make their money in bear markets? It's a very important factor.
Unfortunately, we have to trade the market we're in, not the market we want. The government
just opened a trade as well, but I'm not too sure. The markets are too shabby right now. We're going towards the dub trend, in my opinion.
Shut down. The red candles delay things small. Quite a bit, and we're gonna of course have to just wait it out here. Now, with all of that in mind, I want to provide a summary here, and what I think is likely going to be happening based off of the information that we have. So, Fed rate cut odds: 75% market implied probability in December. The Fed's going to transition to a neutral balance sheet. The last time that the Fed ended QT, Bitcoin corrected quite aggressively. I do think that there's no reason to believe that this won't happen again, especially when considering...
I think like some corrections are very much possible, especially we're not getting the same hype that we were getting a year ago almost. Like, when's the last time we really got hype? Was July? When everybody least expected it. Let's see when XRP got the most price up. July 19th. So July 19th, 5 months ago, is when we got the most hype, basically. And we're just going on a slow downtrend here.
Benjamin Cohen's analysis here of us eventually touching that 100-week moving average. I do think that the next few weeks are likely to be bearish, but that's okay. We will get a reversal eventually, right? And we could potentially touch 100K Bitcoin and a $3 XRP at some point as well if we do get a good enough bounce. We know QE is going to be mid-2026. And we know Trump's tariff dividend is going to be mid-2026.
So the Trump tariffs is like a bullish point on why a lot of people could start re-entering the market. Remember 2021? 2021, we got the COVID grants, and a lot of people, you know, some people spend it on money, some people spend it on Pokemon cards, but then we had a lot of people put it into Shiba Inu, put it into stocks, crypto. This is when the true explosion hit. So could these $2,000 be spent for the same thing? I think people will repeat the same process, believing it will change.
All of these things are pointing towards mid to late 2026. The markets are going to churn extremely bullish. And
I agree with Levi here. I think we're going to get a short bear market, to be honest.
100x during the last bull run. Okay. Now, I don't think we're going to see something quite as explosive, but I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility for us to be at that 10x to 20x range for some of these altcoins once all of these conditions are once again met. And so this is what I am waiting for. This is what I am preparing for. And this is what I think all of us should be looking at. Now, of course, I respect everyone else's judgment. I respect people who think that this bull run is not over and, you know, we're going to get ready to absolutely smash new highs. And like I was saying here, there is a possibility that we touch these lower moving average.
I also agree. I think Christmas is canceled for XRP bull runs. I think it would be perfect if we had a bull run like that. But there's also
that this bull run
not a great opportunity basically for XRP to go up yet. Look at that. I'm 3.60% down. I just opened a trade, and it's just like definitely not a bull market if I'm 6% down, 3% down, because whales would absolutely be sending it up in the sky in terms of like a good market, right?
And we bounce back up to a $3 XRP and a 100K or above Bitcoin price. That is a possibility. We've done it previously in previous cycles, so this is something that can happen again. I just do think that it's going to get a little bit worse before it gets better, and then it's going to be absolutely incredible in 2026. That's my honest analysis of what's going on here.
I agree with this. I agree that, you know, right now XRP does not get attention it deserves. And, you know, the community is still there. It's just that it really doesn't matter to a lot of people if the price is low. The projects are amazing, but not a lot of people care. So, guys, if you want to get started on Toobit, link in the description below, went up to 2,500 XRP. And, you know, power up your deposits. If you deposit something, I'm going to build a community around that, around XRP traders. That's something you're interested in, smash that like button and join me below. So yeah, we have another video. XRP is collapsing. That would be pretty bad though. I would not be happy. And you can actually see it's going towards a downtrend line as I made in this video. So we got to talk about that. We got to talk if this is true, if XRP is collapsing or it's going up, because it would be definitely amazing if XRP is going up.
While the talk around town is that the bull market is over. And
is the bull market really over? It could be another, like, one cycle to cycle being over is when you get extreme fear and no bounces occur. I would argue that the signs of the top being in continue to mount. And this is true. It's not looking good for XRP if it keeps going down. But the retail has forgotten about us. Like 2021, we never recovered from 2021 hype.
After the Trump tariff announcements. If we go back on the XRP charts, way back to April and all these other previous times, one thing you're going to notice is during these periods.
So yeah, guys, I opened a trade here. If you want, link in the description below for a free bonus. But what's happening here right now is we are entering like a sort of a negative cycle around XRP. A lot of people I have noticed have started to become negative about XRP prices for this reason, literally, because this is the problem. We're not getting the attention it deserves because, yes, it's spending a lot of money, it's making a lot of progress, but the price keeps staying the same. For a very clear reason, the whales are selling, and we're like 50-50 right now. I think the market sentiment is 50-50 if there's going to be another cycle top or if there's going to be a big downward crash. And I kind of said it in my own scenario that we are either going downtrend or we're going to see one last pump before mid of 2026.
To $1.76.
So you can see I'm 1.8% down on my trade here that I opened.
But it was immediately bought back up because we were still in a bull market. And then we had more fear happening over here where we dipped down to 195, and it was immediately met within the next couple of days by a massive bounce. And so these periods of extreme fear, generally speaking, are met with a V-shaped recovery when we're still in a bull market. Now, the main difference between the transition from a bull to a bear market is in a bear market, you get the drop down, but you don't get the V-shaped recovery. And that's essentially what Benjamin Cohen is talking about in this post right here. And so what's really crucial for us to pay attention to right now is after this big sell-off where we just had XRP go down more than 10% in a single day and Bitcoin went down to 88,000 is, are we going to be seeing that V-shaped recovery? The next couple of days are a very strong indication of how much liquidity is currently available in the market. And I don't care if you're a bull or you're a bear.
What's that on my nose? It's a nasal strip.
Or whatever you really think. As investors and people who are interested in understanding the markets, this is something that we need to pay attention to. And there are some other things to be looking at right now as well, including the historical social risk metric. Now, what this does is it basically shows what the risk is currently in the markets based off of historical examples of different points in the market, right? And when these are hitting these really high levels and the prices are going down, it's basically telling you that your upside of buying is also going down.
That's the good part. Like, this is a historical social metric risk. So basically means, as Levi said, a lot of people were buying between 3.7 and they never checked these ratios. And this is the big problem that it caused them, because as soon as we got to 3.7, it just ended up crashing on a big path. So absolutely terrible in that regards. You saw a big drop.
And so that's one other thing just to pay attention to. Basically, where we are right now is Bitcoin has officially fallen below $89,000 per coin for the first time since April of 2025. Now, I want to remind you guys back in April of 2025, when that did happen,
the downward trend seems like a rug pull. It's just the whale selling. I just saw this now. So the downward trend that we are seeing with XRP right now, it's literally just the whales dropping and buying at $1 and then selling at 3.66. That's the issue I'm seeing right now with XRP. Like, a lot of people don't realize how, like, a lot of the whales, like, literally bought at 0.6, and we're here fighting and saying, oh, why is it not $3.6? You can see a lot of the whales were even selling 2.8 based on my data. So if you look at, like, here, there was a huge sale for 2.8. For this whale, it was worth it because he bought it for, $2.
We were met with a V-shaped recovery almost instantaneously, as I showed you guys with XRP there. But this officially puts Bitcoin down more than 30% from its record high, which we just saw last month in October. All the bears are basically saying that October was our all-time high for Bitcoin during this bull cycle, and now we're headed into a 6 to 12 month bear market.
Now, this is the big catalyst that could be happening as summer. And notice why this pattern was, there's some corrections. A lot of people started buying around November last year. Literally last year is when we saw the big pump. This is not the same scenario this year. We completely forgot about November and nobody expected that. Everybody expected a huge pump in December, a huge pump in November. Would be amazing, right? But look what happened when nobody expected of July 2025. We hit a peak of 3.66. So nobody expected that either. So sometimes in crypto, you could obviously see that the whales are buying literally when 2021, July was a bear market. So we're seeing the exact reverse scenario. Maybe we could see it next year as well, with whales buying it at those levels, like, June, July.
Market before we get the next bull phase that's going to start to initiate.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to provide some deeper analysis on this and kind of look at different halving cycles. If we look at the 2013 cycle, basically we had our halving, and then we peaked 12 months post halving, right? We had our halving cycle in 2013. In the 2017 cycle, we peaked 17 months after the halving. And in our 2021 cycle, we peaked 18 months after the halving. Now, at this moment in time, for this current cycle in 2025, we are 19 months post the April 2024 halving. Every single previous market peak happened between 12 to 18 months post halving. Now, I know some of you guys in the comments will have the argument that we no longer have these cycles. Everything's changed. Wall Street's entered in. The banks are entering in. All of this kind of stuff, right? And that's why I think the way that this week plays out is incredibly important.
Yeah.
When we look at the fear...
People are afraid to buy XRP at even $2.2 when they were literally buying it at $3. That's what's giving me a bit concerned with XRP. Because we saw people buy it for $3 and suddenly, wow, we're not going to buy it anymore. Look at this. I'm trying to long it and it literally, I'm at 5% and it drops. So it's a very sad scenario right now, and it's a worrying scenario for XRP.
Fear and greed index, this is the main reason. We're at extreme fear right now, down from 29 fear last month and continuing a multi-month decline. This capitulation level reading typically appears at cycle bottoms or post-top crashes, not mid-bull run corrections. Now, we have seen mid-bull run corrections like in April, and once again, I just want to point out, those were met with V-shaped recoveries because the liquidity was there and, people were able to buy up. When we look at the 50 to 200 week moving averages, there's been no weekly death cross reported. Bitcoin remains in long-term golden cross territory, with price and 50-week MA stay well above the 200-week moving average, which is a 60 to 75K zone right now, based on historical trajectory. And so this kind of death cross, which we've seen previously, has kind of marked the bottoms of a number of previous cycles. And so if this death cross does indeed happen again, we're going to be looking at a bottom somewhere between 65 to 75K Bitcoin. XRP in that event will be looking to be trading just below $1 per coin if it follows similar historical trajectory that it did previously. We can see the price broke the 365-day moving average, which is a bearish signal, but the macro weekly structure still holds.
This is the thing, like, are we really in that much of a bear market if it's 220? No, we're just in a smaller correction at this point, which isn't the worst. It isn't that bad. It isn't that terrible. But I was just hoping for, a bit more, a bit slightly. So a bit slightly upper hand, like at least $4. And a lot of people were saying there's going to be a breakthrough at $4. Again, if you want to open trading, open it on Toobit. I just opened a trade, so you can have massive XRP rewards, win 2,500. Link in the description below.
So, there are some very bearish indicators here, such as the halving cycles and some of the moving averages. And there are some signals that show that there's just no confirmation yet that it's a bear market as well. Now, another thing that is really important here, which I think demands all of your attention, is ETF inflows. We've had record ETF inflows for XRP, and what we've noticed though is institutional liquidity is also drying up here too. So, outflows for ETFs are skyrocketing from Bitcoin specifically, we've seen, and institutional liquidity is also drying up. Like, there's not a lot of buying pressure there, and there's also macro pressure with there's just no retail. You need to, the simple thing is you need buyers.
And there's no buyers here right now. Not really retail. We're seeing some institution. We're seeing a small part of retail, but we're not seeing like a day or night difference, which really makes me kind of worried for XRP.
The tariffs as well. So Grok's deep thinking on Grok version 4.1 analyzes a 75% probability that the bull market is over and we peaked in October. And the reason for that is a combination of perfect cycle timing, extreme fear capitulation, and record institutional outflows, plus, of course, all of our yearly gains completely erased with no signs of a bounce right now. But once again, I just want to point out that we still have until the end of this week. Bitcoin and XRP could still bounce by the end of this week, but we have a lot of room to make back up. I mean, for XRP, we need to get back to almost $3 to really show that we still have the liquidity to have a bull run here. And for Bitcoin, we need to get back above the,
we need to get above 100,000. 100,000 minimum. XRP needs to hold above like 2.5, in my opinion. These are the price ranges I have now. That's why I'm longing it, because it seems like the whales want to push it, but we're still a far way ahead from that to see real effects.
Dollars to really show that we still have the liquidity to have a bull run here. And for Bitcoin, we need to get back above the 95,000 at the very least. But for a bull run to really be full in effect, we need to be over $100,000 per coin. With Bitcoin currently trading between $88,000 to $89,000 per coin, it's looking like a very tough sell. But stranger things have happened in the crypto market. It's just the halving cycles paired with the moving averages, paired with the ETF outflows and institutional capital seemingly drying up here. It does tell a pretty compelling story for the.
I mean, the story is pretty clear. It's that the whales, they are not interested in Bitcoin right now. They want to buy it for $1.9, but they do not want to buy it for 2.2. As you can see, my trade is still open over here, and people don't want to get it at 2.2. They want to buy it above 1.9. So this is the first the first cycle where people bought it. 1.9 above that they will buy it, but they will not buy it for $2.5 right now. So these are the ranges. Even if you go to my trading bot over here, which I started on Toobit. So as I said, link in the description below, you can see I started a $30 trading bot. And it's doing some magic stuff, I guess. Let's check what it does. So it hasn't even opened these trades yet. It's trading between these price ranges and hasn't opened trades. But I'm waiting it to make me some juicy money, at least like a pizza or something, which is going to be super hard, by the way, because pizza is like $5. Like my first dollar would be amazing.
For the most part, that crypto is going to go through a corrective period.
Yeah, it's basically going to set a new price point.
Now, that does not mean that everything's over and it's all bare and, you have to sell everything right now, yada, yada, yada. I'm waiting until the end of the week to get full confirmation on whether or not we're in a bear market. I'm going to continue to, play it smart instead of jumping the gun here. And I think that's the way to go. If you guys want to get access to exactly what I'm doing and when I'm doing it, I want to invite all of you guys to join my Discord.
So yeah, you have a pretty clear idea of what's happening with XRP right now. It is not looking that great for XRP, but it's not looking that bad either. Look, it's above $2. It's not going to go below $2 or whatever. We're really in a tight spot where XRP, it's a bull battle between whales. So that's a pretty clear idea of what to see, guys. So look at that. It's trying to break up. Now we have, what's this? Chase the trend and seize the opportunity futures. Let's check this. So today's market sentiment extreme fear, 20. So it's not looking good for the markets, right? And you can see here future markets, nowhere clear insight is XRP. Top losers, you can see some coins are down 42%. So obviously more coins falling than rising right now. Look at this. It's even 7% down. Some are up. It's just like a very tight spot of market and 2 million liquidations in the last time. And then there's also long position liquidations also over 2 billion. So pretty clear idea of what's happening in the market right now. If you guys want more content like this, smash that like button. let me show you guys this. Let's do something else. Tron X, I want to do a price analysis, not just for XRP. I kept doing XRP price analysis, but I feel like it's time to, look at Tron, because the Tron is really underrated. Like, the community is big. It's basically Justin Sun, the creator of Tron, is just putting money inside it. And I find it really, really cool that this is happening. Like, this is something that we haven't seen before. So this is my pattern for Tron X. We can actually ask ChatGPT over here for its price prediction. I'm using Toobit, by the way, and I'm going to be opening a trade on TRX as well. If you guys want to join me, link in the description below. I'll be explaining more on that, what the bonuses are, and, something that I partner up with Toobit. But see, look, it's basically getting on a downtrend momentum. So I hate these Ichimoku clouds, but they're great analysis. And the Ichimoku clouds are basically showing that we are slightly bearish on Tron X here. Daily chart is in a down corrective phase, not a clean uptrend. And we can kind of see that. Price is around 0.28, sitting below the red Ichimoku cloud. So I am using Ichimoku clouds to make my analysis. The cloud above 30 cents to 0.31 plus old lows is a strong resistance. So there is a big community that's like pushing away, like trying to at least, survive its bear market. And you can see kind of here that, even before in the worst areas of crypto, Tron X was actually still pretty good prices. It was like a few cents, wasn't it? So it was never that low. But for a real recovery on the daily, Tron X needs to get back and above the cloud, close above about 0.30 to 0.31. And I think Tron X has now potential to go higher. Because again, look at this. Big Whale sells at 3.33. The community tries to go for another rally and it simply goes back down. You can see there's a lot of traders here, like buying 1.7K, 1.3K. So personally, I am a bit bullish on Tron X. I'm going to open a short position, like another short position, a long position on Tron X. And the reason why I am absolutely bullish, so I just opened my trade on Toobit. The reason why I am bullish on Tron X is because right now there's going to be a big demand hype for a lot of these coins, like BNBs has absolutely exploded. Ethereum has exploded. Solana has exploded. It's not going to be this year. It might not be next year for Tron X, but it has very low fees. A lot of businesses use it for USDT. So that's a very important factor. Like stable coins are pretty big in this industry. So that's one thing I'm very excited about. That and basically Justin Sun has been farming a lot of Ethereum allegedly, and he's been putting it into his own coin. So you can understand that this is going to piss off a lot of Ethereum holders, because he's literally selling Ethereum and making money from staking Ethereum and putting it back into his own profit, just like BNB is buying billions upon billions of their own coin, making events. And TRX is something that could do that. They have the funds. It's one of the biggest exchanges. That's not going to go down anytime soon. It's basically like BNB, but it's a smaller version. Now, is it going to go to $1? Can TRX hit $1? And again, guys, if you want to open trades with me, check here. You can actually win a lot of, deposit USDT, deposit 800 USDT. You get trial funds. The more you trade, the more coins you get. So this is a pretty important factor. Even if you're just buying, it's an awesome idea for anyone new, because you do get a $30 free. It's up to $6,000 future bonus free. So that's something that you want to explore. It's for a limited time only, especially for TRX holders. So right now, TRX is around 0.28 with a market cap of roughly 26 to 27 billion on all-time high near 0.44. To hit $1, price would need to do about 3.5x. So yeah, a very important factor here for it, that we haven't been doing that great. Overall, crypto bull run bear cycle, whether Tron keeps growing, USDT on Tron DeFi fees, big risk, regulatory Justin Sun issues, SEC case. I mean, a lot of people have this type of issues. Tron, also had some type of regulatory issues, but I'm not too worried about that. TronX can be rolled out for $1 Sunday, but there's no reliable way it will get there. It was at 0.36 cents. It was at 3.5. It's gonna do... TRX is gonna be one of those tokens that performs better in bull runs when there's high volume, when, Justin Sun and the awesome team there will have more money for the DeFi and fees. Like, DeFi is not super popular, but it's gonna drop much more during the bear market. So let's just check what it was during the bear market. So it's number 8 crypto, and there's a lot of traders for it. So it used to be literally during the bear market, this was one of the only tokens that was rising to the top. This was apparently the worst era in crypto. I was here, by the way. And TronX was at 8 cents. So it was literally almost all-time highs because he kept buying it, it kept going up. This is why it has so much potential. And I think that this is a huge thing on how big this is. So if you want to get started trading TronX, there's a big community that I'm building. Deposit at least 200 USDT or get allocated free future bonuses that you can try and have your fun with it. And I'll keep you guys updated with more news. But overall, I'm kind of bullish on TronX. I think it could drop down to 15 cents, 20 cents during the bear market. I don't think it's going to drop down to 1 cent, 2 cents, because they don't allow it to do that. They literally are building a lot and they're putting a lot of effort. You can see that. And a lot of crypto companies, they're now paying in TronX because of the low exchange fees. So that's another factor here that a lot of people don't talk about. So I am very hyped to see what's next here. With TronX would be absolutely awesome. But yeah, I feel like this is a pretty clear way to see that. So today we're going to be also talking about how you can buy TronX USDT perpetuals. So simply log in over here. Link down in the description below. You can log in on Toobit. So Toobit is, I have an exclusive event. You can trade to earn massive XRP or just TronX rewards, basically. A free future bonus, which is absolutely awesome. So link in the description below. Sign up there. Use my code, which is just by clicking the link. Register. Deposit. You can deposit whatever you want. So it can be a small amount. Now, we go over here to the markets. So should be markets here. Actually, futures, like this fire icon. So we're just going to start here. We're going to click, instead of USDT and perpetuals, if you are new, we're going to go to light perpetuals. Why? Because look at this. It will be 10 times simpler on what it has. So as you can see over here, now I am under TronX USDT perpetuals. And this you will see here on the right, open long, open short. There will also be bonuses if you guys want to use it. I have a $10 bonus, $20 bonus, and $30 bonus. So I'm going to use a $10 bonus here. Exactly, this is a bonus that, it's given out to some holders. And you can click here, open or close. So these are the bonuses itself with a 3x leverage. You can also trade without that. So if you want to, you could just go exit and opening along here. You want to click on market, not trigger. You want to click the amount you want to basically open. Like open long means that you say that the price is going to be higher. And short is the price that, you think that Tron is going down, bearish. Bearish or bullish. It's actually very simply explained. Now, you want to set up leverage. Personally, I would never go above 15 or 20x leverage, because that's how most whales lose money. Even if it's a very small amount, just do 20x leverage. You don't need 100x in my opinion, but that's just my way of thinking. Take profit and stop loss 5% if you are doing small trades, because if you don't set up a stop loss and the market goes really bad, well, you could lose the entire position. You could lose your entire $2. So let's say we could even do $5 now, and 15x leverage means we are borrowing from the exchange itself, and taking a profit means we're going to be up $3.75, right? Or we're going to be down $3.75. So the more leverage you have, the more risky it is. Look, so we're going to buy a long here. with estimated profit and loss of $2. It's going to be a $2 trade. So let's try to open a $2 trade over here. And we're going to open it with a long. And now the order is open. As you can see here, it's a spread protection is enabled. So Toobit is the only thing that has spreads. And it should appear over here. Now I have already opened some of the longs. And you can see I'm down here 6%, obviously, because crypto markets are going down a bit. And then I have another trade open with TronX USDT perpetuals. So let me just try to show you also the bonus here is I'm not going to have any stop loss for bonuses. But I do believe TronX could be going on the short term like a bit lower towards 24, 25 based on my analysis, just on the short term. And I'm going to sell a short with a 3x leverage. Bam. And now we have a TronX short open. Now we have close and flash close. So a flash close basically means that it closes at all prices, closes super fast. This is especially important if you're doing swing trading, which is basically trading at a very small level. So just remember, if you're trading at a very small level, this is going to be the one for you. So we do have another important update here. And obviously I'm down here as well, but it's a pretty clear idea. As soon as you want to close your position, close trade. I could close this one, for example. I'm down 0.5%, but just to show you what happens, you could close and say, what percent do you want to close? I want to sell 50%. Or do you want to sell all of it? So I want to sell 50% of it. And I'm going to lose 1 cent on this, but I'm going to click close long. And bam, 50% of it is sold now. So just remember, guys, 50% of my TronX is sold, and this is it. You have now bought and long, TronX, which is a pretty important factor. So there it is. And again, remember, guys, use the link in the description below for a free bonus on Toobit, and I'll keep you guys updated with more news. So today we're going to be talking about BNB. And how exactly can you do BNB itself? So you go over to futures, use the link in the description below for a free bonus on how to open trades and basically close trades. That's something that I'm going to be explaining for USDT and BNB. And we're going to go to light perpetuals. You go to exclusive event over here, futures, light perpetuals. And then you go to BNB. And BNB is $900. And then you're going to see all of these different trades and all these different charts. So don't be too afraid. Light perpetuals are making it easy and simple and fast. So this is the order book. This shows you exactly what you need to see. So the order book over here is like what whales are selling, what whales are buying. So there's some pretty big sell-offs for USDT. But you got to remember, right now, we're going to focus on longs and opens. A long is when you think that BNB will go up. And a short is when you think BNB will go down. So this is the clear case scenario is you have to take a profit and you have to take a stop loss. And you could also use bonuses to trade. So here's a available $50 bonus as well. So you can open a bonus with one trade and then close it. Pretty important factor. Right now, you also have trial funds. And then let's say the minimum cost per order is $1.21, which means that, we can only do about $1 per trade. So cost of $2, you could do a 15x leverage. You could do also a custom leverage. So you could also do 1x leverage. So it basically leverage means is when you borrow money from the exchange. But if you borrow money from the exchange, it's like a double-edged sword. So don't go over that. Don't go over like 60, 70% X. Because that means like for your $2, you now borrow your $150, right? But there's a clear issue with that because if you're losing money, the exchange will want to close your position. They're going to say, you're making us a loss. We got to sell like what we borrowed you. Otherwise, we don't want to lose money. So it's kind of risky. So it's not really your money you're trading with. It's the exchange's money. So just be careful about that. That's all I'm saying. Then you want to take a take profit and a stop loss of 5%. Why 5%? Maximum 10%. Because it has happened plenty of times that people have woken up, next day a bear market hit, and they lost $80,000, $50,000 because they did not press a stop loss. Again, a stop loss is basically going to help you. It's like having a brake on the car if you're crashing. And then, because I think I'm kind of bullish right now on BNB, again, I'm going to do a price analysis for BNB, but overall, I think I'm bullish. So I'm going to click $2 and open a position here. And bam. Now it should be in open orders and it should appear over here. So for example, if I was, this is how much money I have made from the trade so far. If you scroll here to the right, you can see that it only cost 1 cent to open this position. This trade only cost 1 cent. So you could actually close or flash close this. Flash close is if you want to instantly sell it without any problems, you can do that. And you can see I'm already 0.31% up. Now, if you want to close it, you will see here the size. So let's say you want to sell 50%, you do the size of $13 because the max is like, $26. So here you can sell $13 of it. But we wouldn't get anything. So we're going to wait for now. And that's it. You just open your first BNB USDT trade, perpetual. And these live perpetuals are absolutely amazing on Toobit. There's actually a free competition I'm doing right now with Toobit that, it's going to give bonuses that doesn't give anywhere else. So if you check over here, link in the description below, it's going to give exclusive rewards and massive, it's going to be XRP, but it's going to be other trial funds, rewards, competitions. We're going to have a trading competition. So, there's tons of stuff when you use my code, link in the description below. And that's something I'll be showing you guys. So let us do a BNB USDT on Toobit. So let us do a price analysis. And I was wrong about BNB USDT. I thought regulation would destroy it, but it does not seem so. And again, I'm going to do it on Toobit, and I'm going to open a trade there as well. If you want to join me, link in the description below. That's something I'll be talking about. But Toobit right now has really surprised me with the platforms it's using, like with all the stuff you can use. I really thought in 2021, which really pains me to say, that I was wrong about BNB. It's number 5 crypto, but it's one of the rare few cryptos that has actually went up. It has went up during, a supposed bear market when it went from 235 to 609. It has went up during the bull run. It has went up during the bear market because why? Because Binance is the number 1 exchange and it's not going to let its baby coin die. It's not going to let its baby coin pass away. And it has a massive advantage over anyone basically at this point. So it really is a win for BNB that they can afford to just buy their own supply. A lot of crypto coins cannot just buy their own supply without selling it first, right? And BNB has been building not only a chain, but it has been building a whole ecosystem, video games, projects on it, just like Terra Luna Classic should have been. And overall, I think there's going to be a bullish momentum as long as Bitcoin goes rising. Now that regulation is over, I really thought regulation would destroy Binance, but I was completely wrong. So again, don't quote me on that. But it seems like Binance is a great project. Also, BNB USDT is a good project in my opinion. That's why I am bullish on it. I am in fact bullish. Maybe I'm like 3% down now because it's just like a short-term drop. Maybe it's like going downwards momentum. So we could just close this trade and open a smaller short. But you get the pretty clear idea of right now that it's not going anywhere down like Crow because they have so much money from trading volume. They can just buy their own supply. This is not something XRP can suddenly do, right? It's one of the rare few instances where BNB continues to surprise us all with low transaction fees. And you got to remember, 2021, it was already used in a lot of projects, a lot of NFTs, a lot of basically crypto stuff, which really shocked me. It shocked me that a coin like that can keeps surprising us. So yeah, this is something that is a very important note to hear. So it does seem like it has started to build its resistance level around 850. It might go further down during the bear market where there's less trading volume, but it's never going to go away. It's never going to be like $50 again because it has paid all the fines. Binance has avoided all the things it had to, and it's getting rewarded for it. So, you know, exchanges will keep buying it. Whales love it. Overall, not financial advice, but link in the description below if you want to start trading BNB. I'm overall bullish. I think a lot of whales, when they join me, you know, and trade on it, are gonna be big on BNB. I think it's gonna be a great thing, personally. So, what do you guys personally think? I'm gonna do more price analysis here because I'm just yapping at this point. So, based on the clouds here, which I'm gonna read myself, it does seem like, in my honest opinion, there's a lot of whales selling, right? So there's going to be a lot of whales selling during these high price tides, but it is doing a lot of things that a lot of projects should have been doing. So 185 to 800. How many coins you know like that? I only know 3. So Ethereum didn't do much. XRP, BNB, and Bitcoin. These are the 3 that really exploded this bull run, and every other coin didn't do so well. So it kind of scares me really on what's next for crypto. It kind of is worrying in that sense. So yeah, not absolutely perfect, but BNB, hey, you got my vote, man. Like it's an absolutely amazing project, and I think it will, on the long term, it's gonna go up, at least to me, not financial advice, but like 35% in 1 year. That's literally the stock market type. But it's just amazing community as well. It's like the community is big, the trading volume of trader is big. And you know, the thing is, it's like kind of like Solana, but Solana has less features right now and is a bit more centralized. So I feel like I missed out in 2021 by not getting summer 2022. I'll keep you guys updated with that though, more in a bit. So what else we have here? My honest thoughts on Solana. Solana has been absolutely exploding right now, but is it enough? Let's check Solana prices. And we also have ChatGPT to ask what's up. Solana went nearly to all-time highs, which definitely pump fund helped it, you know. So let's check what's next on Solana and what I think will happen in the future. So Solana almost died when it was $20 because FTX failed. But now at, you know, all-time highs with pump fund hype, it has a new, basically, dad. So it got adopted. And I personally think that Solana is going to stay around. It's going to keep building. It's fast. It's efficient. It needs to expand, however. I like the Solana phone stuff. So if you guys didn't know, they announced Solana phone, which is a very big thing. But there's a lot of factors that a lot of you guys have to understand. Solana started as a VC and is getting dumped by whales. And this is where it saw it getting dumped by whales to 16 to all the way to $15. See, because people bought it for $2. Literally, a lot of VCs bought it for $2, so it dumped here. But we can also ask ChatGPT where it goes from here. If you guys want to open trades like me and join a Solana trading community, link in the description below for a free bonus. So you can power up your deposit, trading dash, race to become the top trader, and win 2,500 XRP. You will receive the highest reward from the list if you achieve the trading volume. That's a link in the description below for a free bonus. Again, will Solana hit all-time highs again or even $500? So let's ask ChatGPT. But personally, here's the thing. Retail is mostly gone, but Solana is trying to expand more into institutions. Institutions are buying Solana's large treasuries, which is absolutely amazing. So back to at its highest, 2x from here. $500 is 3.6x from here and almost 2x the old at its highest. It's not excited by the bull crypto market standards. What you needed for the new at its highest, $500. Strong overall bull market, continued real usage. So this is the thing. Right now, DeFi meme coins are still not back since 2021. And that's what's actually keeping Solana low. So like, stuff like that it's what's really destroying Solana at this point. But I still feel there's going to be a small downtrend for Solana. Should I open a short or long? So I'm gonna see what happens with Solana's long or short. The issue is here right now is Solana's phone is cool, but again, who uses phones like for crypto? It's still very early. Solana gaming, not many people do gaming. So price 138, it's inside the Ichimoku cloud after a big run. This is a correction chop, not a clean trend. Major resistance above 170 to 180. Strong support area roughly 130 to 120. So scalping minutes, swinging days, weeks, where am I wrong? It's gonna be a small scalp 1 minute chart. Tell me. So the issue with Solana is we need retail back. If we could get retail back, that's where really Solana will start to shine. But before retail, it keeps me still worried because right now it does have institutional backing. It does have treasuries and it's trying. It really is. But can it survive another bear market? And yeah, it can. I think it could go below these ranges, maybe like 100 to 75, but it will never be $20. But if we hit a bear market, $50 to $100 can happen. Maybe like $75 to $100. That's going to be the range in the bear market. But a bullish breakout, could be nice. Could definitely be nice if we see something like that, right? You even have data over here. And you can see here analyzing the prices and Hong Kong, now supports Solana for custody and trading. It's trying to get through institutions as well. So right now is risk 1.5%, no trade. Bounce up, wait for 1 minute bounce up. Let's see here what to do with Solana. And personally, I think like a small short on the small, tiny drop is completely fine. So we're gonna open a short on this just for a small bump, taking profit of advanced 5%, bam. So it's a pretty clear drop over here. It's a very heavy sentiment to go $3 short. All right. It's only letting me open a bull. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open a bull and see what happens. And immediately, like, it does seem like a lot of whales like Solana's use case right now. So that's something to consider. So yeah, you can see here the candles. It's whales are selling Solana because there's just not enough retail to come back. But things like Pump Fun and all these still give it a positive momentum. Hitting all-time highs, it already hit an all-time high, so that's good. It's similar situation like XRP right now where traders are not giving up on it. And a lot of trenchers are using Solana for the low fees. But it's never going to be reliant on NFTs. It's not going to be reliant on DeFi. It's going to have to adapt towards institution. So I know this video is a bit longer. Smash that like button if you want to get started trading. Link in the description below if you want to buy Solana. If you want to trade Solana, you can race to become the top trader and win 2,500 XRP or Solana or whatever, which you have enough trading volume. Subscribe, just join, and that's it.